Hello, my name is Dan Wisniewski. I'm a senior at Penn State, and this is my speech on my pet peeve. Phones, TVs, and computers, they consume our lives. How many hours a day do you think an average child spends in front of a screen? 1 or 2? No. 7 hours a day, according to Medline Plus. Inherently, this isn't such a bad thing as screens can be used for a useful piece of technology, but they're not being used for that purpose. And it frustrates me that my generation is being lied to, and they think they are educated about science, politics, and the environment. This is not correct at all. And in the next 7 minutes, I will explain to you my personal relationship with this issue and 5 ways to prevent being brainwashed. Now, this is all too common of a story, I must say, amongst conservatives on a college campus. I'll ask my friends, what are you passionate about? And they'll say, the environment, saving the poor, helping the world, all very important issues, but unfortunately they get their news from social media websites such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, maybe late night television, and they've been lied to. They think electing a democratic socialist leader such as Bernie Sanders will solve our problems. And I'll ask them, have you ever sat down and read their tax plan? And they go, no, I've never read their tax plan. And I think that's insane. Do you know why? Because a National Review study said that Bernie Sanders' new government spending plan would cost $21.8 trillion a year. And the IRS said if you taxed 100% of the people making over $1 million a year, according to a 2009 study, that would only pay for less than 4% of his $21.8 trillion plan. This goes to show you can't just tax the rich to pay for it all. So they think that's how they're going to do it. Additionally, he wants to raise taxes by 87%. That's an 87% sales tax increase. That's going to affect everyone from the poorest to the richest person. Now, I can't blame my friends, and they're always surprised when they hear these stats because they've been lied to. And this little story wasn't meant to rip apart Democrats or liberals. Conservatives are lied to also. Sources like Breitbart and Fox News, they've convinced conservatives that Donald Trump is a god, he's infallible. Brainwash. I have 5 ways to prevent being brainwashed. 1, don't use social media as a news source. According to the BBC, 51% of people use social media as a news source, and across 26 countries, Facebook is the most common. A couple problems with this. 1, they use algorithms, so if you're a conservative and you click on conservative links, you're only going to see conservative news. If you're liberal, you click on liberal links, you only see liberal news. This is wrong. So wrong. Because you're never going to find the middle ground, ever, if you use these social media websites. Additionally, after 3 months, an Oxford study showed that conservative, right-wing extreme groups put more junk news on the internet than any other political community on social media. This is wrong. The final point about why using social media is wrong is because it only shows you the highlight reels. If you dedicate your time on social media and you really watch the news, you only see a couple seconds of a speech. You only see the top line of a new medical study. You don't really read the 12-page research report, or you don't watch the 8-minute speech. There's a lot of little details in there, a lot of details. And if you understand the details or read the details or watch the details, you'd understand the idea more fully. Second, sit down and do research. I would need to sit down on a topic and do research for more than an hour. If you do research for more than an hour and you're passionate about a subject, you'll understand it more. And when you're doing research, you're doing hours worth of research, get your research from conservative sources, Fox News, liberal sources, CNN, but more importantly, neutral sources like C-SPAN and peer-reviewed journals. According to Forbes, 51% of links shared on the internet are never even read. People are sharing sources and sharing news sources they've never even read. Additionally, an IFL Science Foundation study published a bogus article that said NASA had found alien DNA in marijuana. They just did this to see what would happen. Do you know what happened? 141,000 people shared this article. Shameful. You need to read before you share. You need to do your research. Third, which I think is a very important subject, separate entertainment, late night television, and politics from real, true news. Late night television and entertainment and actors, they don't give you the true news. As Danny Orbach said from the Jerusalem Post, the TV and news, they're great places to vent anger and frustration because it avoids politeness, social norms, and political correctness, but it becomes extremely dangerous when this entertainment is mixed with true politics. And this is true. People are turning to places like people like John Oliver and Jon Stewart and Milo Yiannopoulos on the left and the right for the news. These people are entertainers. They're using extreme examples and they're lying to you. Separate entertainment and politics. Third, we as Americans need to demand better. This is my fourth point. We need to demand better and more neutral news sources. We need to stop watching Fox News, stop watching CNN, and demand neutral news, fact-based news. According to the Reuters Institute, the United States, among first world nations, is the most biased nation when it comes to news of any first world country. 35% more biased than next closest, which is Italy. Additionally, according to Forbes, only 38% of Americans trust the news. Do you know why? Because we see that other people are being brainwashed. The ignorant are being brainwashed by these extreme outlets, Fox News, CNN. We can't listen to them, and we can't trust them anymore. They only care about viewership. They only care about people giving them money. So if we stop giving them money, stop watching their commercials, true journalism will come back. Finally, my fifth and final point, we need to write down our ideas on paper with a pen or pencil. Do you know why? Because when we write down our ideas, they develop. They become fulfilled. According to Michael LeBeau, in his famous quote, few, if any of us, can write down one thought and think another at the same time. Pencil and paper, they make excellent concentration tools. And this is true, because if we write down our ideas and we stay concentrated, we can't be brainwashed and we can't be lied to. We will stay focused. If we do our research off of proper websites and proper news sources, and we don't use social media, we can have these wonderful thoughts. And we need to write them down, and then we can share them. In conclusion, I want to reiterate my frustration with my generation about how they think they've been so informed and they're so smart. Really, they've been brainwashed and lied to. We can stop this by writing down our ideas, separating politics and entertainment, demanding more neutral news sources, doing real research, over an hour worth of research, and not using social media as a news source. We as Americans have the power of the world and the world's information at the click of a button with Google. If we harness this and we use this correctly, we will be the most successful, robust, and humane society in human history. Thank you.